A very good evening, morning, and afternoon to all of you who have joined us today. A good design affects us more than we realize. I think we all agree to that. And it is more to do with the experiences, engaging with the users, their senses, with their psychology. So why shy away from building incredible experiences? And to how to build them in under 60 minutes, let's learn from Jose. Jose is a very passionate and multidisciplinary designer with 13 plus years of experience. Oh my God. And that too from Mexico City. Since 2009, he has been through many design fields, be it research, be it visual, copywriting. Since 2020, he has shared his knowledge and experience as a UX designer, professor, mentor, and lecturer in different schools and campuses in America and Europe. So I think that's now it's time to be the mentor and the instructor at ProApp. He advocates for creating the most valuable and delightful experiences through delivering excellent products and services for users and customers. Jose, a very warm welcome.
I'm Jose, but you can call me Pepe. It's a kind of nickname here in Mexico, in Latin America. There is a nickname or version or funny version for names. This session will be a kind of conversation between my knowledge, my experience, and you. And so you can always share your knowledge, your thoughts, your ideas here in the chat. It will be awesome to hear from you and to read from you your ideas, your thoughts, right? So let's begin with that. Let me share my screen. Okay, great. So today we're going to talk about designing remarkable experiences under 60 minutes. Okay, the first part that I have to say is don't stick with the numbers, right? There is a kind of bias for the people, for the designers, that we have to, okay, when we have numbers, we stick to the idea that it could be ended or that task or that framework that should be in those time, right? In 60 minutes in this title of this session, or in 1 month, or in 1 day, or any time, right? So don't stick with the time. Just think about the purpose of your instrument, the purpose of your research, your framework, your design thinking process, or design in general design process, and stick to the purpose, stick to the user needs, right? Not only the number, not only the time, not only the qualitative numbers, right? So just to confirm that we're exploring some ideas, some frameworks to integrate in designing some design of experiences and products and services under 60 minutes, right? So remember that you can always share your thoughts and your ideas and maybe your questions here in the chat, right? Let's do it a dynamic session, right? So yeah, as commented, I'm Pepe. You can call me Pepe. I'm Mexican. Here in Mexico, it's early morning, so yeah, it's a good idea to start my day to share you my knowledge. I have worked with as a product designer. I have more than 10 years of experience in product design, in service design. But the good thing that I have is through the years, I had the awesome experience to share my knowledge by being a UX design mentor and UX design professor in some schools in around the world and organization. So by doing this so many years ago, I've had the opportunity to share not only the knowledge, not only the hard and maybe soft skills, as well as to learn from others and how to solve some problems, how to design some experiences, how to really understand the user needs in other perspectives, right? Not only the Pepe's perspective. So let's remember that when we are designing any experience, whatever it is, we are putting some of our essence, some of our feelings and our way of do the things in the product, right? So yeah. So the agenda for today, it's five main topics. The first one is design thinking methodology. Have you heard it before? I think you do, because it's for excellence the most important and most used framework in the world. So let me know if you have heard about design thinking. What do you know now about design thinking here in the chat? It would be awesome to hear from you your thoughts or ideas in the chat. So put it. Have you heard it before? Design thinking methodology. The second one is UX research. How to select the right UX research methodology to find some resources, to find some information that we don't have in one point of the discovery of the solution of the ideas to solve some problems, some design problems, and let's explore one by one. Rapid sketching. It's a powerful, so much powerful. It could sound easy, but rapid sketching is one of the most powerful tools that we can use to really translate the whole and the so much information cloud that we can have in any time when we are doing the research, after doing the UX research process, to translate how to transform those ideas into a tangible and more visual solutions, right? I think design thinking is when you make your designs about the user and making their experiences better. Kind of Neyman. Okay, kind of, but let's explore in more minutes, right? So have you heard before, someone else, have you heard before design thinking, UX research, rapid sketching? It would be awesome to hear from you in the chat. The fourth topic for today, usability testing, how to integrate the UX research plus rapid sketching to really transform all ideas into tangible, into testable instrument, and how to use usability testing or maybe concept testing to really guarantee that what I'm as a UX designer designing, it's what the user needs, not only wishes, what the user needs, right? And the fifth topic for today is how to present a design case, right? So here, there is not only one way to do anything, right? Okay, also we have methodologies, or we have frameworks of work in UX design, so clear and so ABC steps or ABC processes well established. There is not only one way to present a design case, or to do a rapid sketching, or to do a UX research, right? So let's begin with this conversation, right? To how to integrate some perspective in doing all of these topics, right? From there, can you change everyone? Oh, great. Okay, great. Yeah, please, when you share something in the chat, please make sure that you are sharing with everyone, right? To make sure that everyone here in the room is reading your thoughts, right? Please. Okay, so let's begin with the first topic. Design thinking methodology. Have you heard before? What do you know about this? Have you used before, or do you know any other frameworks apart from design thinking? For example, in UX, or maybe Sprint, or maybe design thinking plus Scrum. Have you heard it before, guys? Design thinking. I can bet that you have heard before. Double diamond, perfect. That it's a kind of principle applied into a framework, right? To how to welcome every idea, welcome to all the ideas. It doesn't matter if it's weird, if it's normal idea, welcome. And after doing that, let's concentrate in one point, right? Great. Empathize, ideate, prototype, test, etc. Right? It's a classic way to do the things, right? Remember, there is not the only one framework in the world to do the design thinking, the UX design process, but it's one of the most important and used framework in the world, right? I have heard about design sprint, right? Design sprint is only design sprint. It's a kind of design thinking in 5 days. For the theoretical part says that it's five days, but okay, right? So Claire, continue sharing your thoughts in the chat. It would be awesome to hear from you. Service blueprint, it's a kind of it's a kind of instrument to visualize all the knowledge between the service, right? How the points, how the touch points, or how the everyone in the organization backstage, front stage, coordinate and integrate the experience in the with the people, right? So let's analyze and let's together criticize this illustration, right? Design thinking process. It doesn't matter if you Google it, design thinking, and you find, maybe you can find 35 steps or maybe 6 steps, or I have found that maybe with some authors, they describe design thinking with 7 steps. The same idea and the same purpose of design thinking is the same, right? It doesn't matter if the author put it into 5 steps or 6 or maybe 7 steps. The essence of design thinking is the same, right? So I can ask you, design thinking, it's only a process, it's only a methodology, because, okay, the answer could be obvious. Yeah, Pepe, it's a process because we have ABC steps clearly established and clearly connected between each other, right? So yeah, the obvious answer is, of course, it's a process, but it's only a process, guys. What do you think about this? Let's think a moment. It's only a process, or there is more than a process? No. Why? No, it's only a process, but why? It's a mindset. Perfect. Great. Yeah, it's a mindset too. And what is a mindset? The way we think, the way we act, the way we solve some problems, the way we connect with each other, not only designers, with marketing, with sales people, with all departments, right? With maybe the direction people in our organization, and of course, our dear customer and dear user, right? To understand the user's needs. Perfect. Because if we don't think that the same thinking, it's more than a process, it could be a kind of blindness vision of design thinking, right? Empathy based, right? Because the empathy is the key to design thinking, to every, not only design thinking, to every design process in UX, right? It's a kind of be in the shoe of user, right? How to feel what the user feels. How can I integrate all the knowledge, not only the user needs, and the user, what the user can buy from us. No, it's to really understand what they are feeling and the opportunity we have to explore their needs and how to integrate in our product or service and deliver the best experience possible, right? So perfect, guys. Design thinking is not only an ABC process and that's all. No, there is a process, it's well established, it's tested for years, it's been working perfectly, but it's more than that. It's a mindset, right? It's the way we think, the way we establish the priorities, our task as a UX designers, right? So perfect. User pain points, perfect. How to locate the user pain points, right? The process to help user, perfect. I'm really enjoying your thoughts, guys. Thank you. The process to help a user have a good experience, and what a good experience. Let's talk about later. And generate good sales from this website. Yeah, to generate sales, to generate earnings from selling some product or services. Okay, there is a material world that Madonna said, but before doing all of this sales process or marketing process, there is a empathy, there is a human process to connect each other, to connect in some stages, in some levels with my user, right? As a human level connection, right? Understanding demands of user, right? The demands are important too. So great, perfect. So the same thing is a process, perfect, got it. We already got it, but it's more than just a process. It's a mindset, right? The first part is empathize, right? And what's empathy? What's empathy, guys? How can you describe the empathy topic, the empathy the empathy word? How can we describe the empathy process in human perspective? User perspective, great, to understand how user feel about anything, right? To make my mind and my body and maybe my thoughts, my feeling, my understanding of the word, or my understanding of any topic that we are talking about, to try to understand from other perspective, not the Pepe perspective, not my own mind perspective, right? But understand the things on the other side, on the perspective of the other people, of the perspective of the user needs, right? Expectation, perfect. Understand the expectation, what other expects from the things, from the product, for the services, perfect. Make users like this lake in first place, okay? Be the user, okay, perfect. Be in the user's shoes and tie use the shoes, right? You wear the shoes and try to walk with these shoes and experiment and feel what the user feels, right? So yeah, this is empathy. Not only make a list of wishes or needs. No, empathy really understand and really maybe feel what the user feels, right? As possible. Observe your target audience. Yeah, maybe observe the empathy. We can integrate the empathy with observation, with the show and tell. Show and tell, I mean, I observe the user, and after doing that, I can try to do what the user do, right, in the processes. Okay, understanding and sharing feelings of the user about a product or maybe a service. Remember, us as a UX designer, we don't only design product, we design services. The communication between a service and a group of users, right? And it's a user-centered approach, right? User-centered. That is, the user is the most important piece in our in our process, right? The most important. It is not mean that there is the only one piece that we can focus on. No, because there are other targets. There are our parties in the organization that we're working on. There is other departments. There is organization, the business per se, but it's the user should have the most important piece in our game. Imagine that it's a chess game, right? So the user will be the king. Also, we have other most powerful pieces such as the queen or maybe the horse or other pieces. The king is, if the king is dead, the game is over, right? So let's think the user is the center, the person that we can, or we should, or we must center our decisions, right? After getting understanding of the user needs, pinpoint, the next step is define problems. Yeah. Okay. So is it clear for everyone that empathize? What's empathize process? And how can empathize with the user? Only with a mindset? No. There is some instrument that we can use to empathize. And have you used one of them? The empathize tools that we have to empathize with others, such as interview, right? How to integrate, how to communicate with each other through focus group, maybe to to invite some people to our session and share knowledge and share experiences and receive back their experiences, right? There is the interview, the maybe some service that to optimize our time, maybe some use some service, right? There is only okay, competitive analysis, perfect. Yeah, to really understand not only the user needs as well as the situation of our product or service, right? And our scenario of the process that we are designing on, right? So yeah, empathize is to organize all the ideas and really understand what the user needs, what the user feels, what the user know maybe on a situation, when a scenario, right? Understanding as well as the background, understanding all the things that are around of the user, right? Not only the user per se, not only the user thoughts, as well as everything that is around of the user, right? So empathize, okay? Have you a question here? Qualitative reason and quantitative reason. Yeah, the difference between them. The qualitative, it's the feelings, perception. I think it's pretty. I think it's awesome. I think it's awful. I think it's not so funny, right? And quantitative, 5 of 10 user can integrate, can do this task, right? So perfect. Yeah. So empathize is okay. Yeah, guys. Yeah. So far so good. Okay. Okay. So after really understand and really guarantee that we are understanding the user needs in the first step, that is empathize, maybe we can go to the next step, that is define, right? How we have a question. How do you figure out how to kick things off? Do you start with some assumptions or immediately jump into research? Perfect, good question. Yeah, in some cases, the truth is I have to start from scratch, from my own assumption or my team assumptions, right? But and on the process, not only in the empathize, guys, be careful with that. The assumptions that it's possible to do it in not only in the empathize in the first process. We can use assumptions, an assumption design, an assumption perspective in all the steps in the design thinking, right? But the good thing is, okay, when we are using assumptions to design something or to think about a possible problem, a possible solution of the problem, make sure that we are using assumption to know that this assumption should be and must be clarified with usability testing, with some interviews, but we can guarantee that our assumption is okay or it's not too okay with real data, right? But yeah, at the beginning of any process, not only the empathize process, the first one, we can use assumption, we can use a desk research that is gather the enough information, the evidence information that we have at the moment, analyze them, maybe find some insights, insight to do a rapid analysis, and start from scratch, start from assumption plus a little information that we have in those points, right? But the good thing is, remember, we are doing this as assumption. It means that we must, when possible, guarantee that by doing usability testing or concept tests or interviews, that we are building a real value for the user, right? But yeah, it's possible to do it. Of course, when you have the information, when you arrive to a project that we have worked, or the project have worked, some, or the people there have worked in some UX research, in some data, of course, we can grab it, we can take all of this information and start from this information, right? And of course, when we are redesigning, not designing from scratch, redesigning something, a product or a service, we can go to our -1 step and analyze the current situation of the product. Why should it be redesigned? Why are the improvements of this product, right? But yeah, you can do it. You can do it assumption always, but remember, okay, this is an assumption. I must guarantee with any instrument that it's good and it's understandable, or what the purpose that we are putting in the design, evaluating with the user, right? And another, people say every project should have a different, unique process. Yeah, what do they mean? Isn't it almost always meaningful to talk to user in an interview or usability test? When does it not make sense to do so? So yeah, important and great, a great question too. Yeah, also we have established frameworks such as design thinking, how to you develop or design a persona, a customer journey map, or any instrument that you can comment in the chat. Yeah, they are flexible. Design thinking is too good that all the instruments that we live in design thinking are so flexible. It means that you can use it as your convenience, are your benefits, right? So yeah, every project have the difficulties, the challenges, the real mindset challenge to challenge yourself as a UX designer as well as a person, right? For instance, I have worked with BBBA. It's a it's a worldwide brand in finance for MetLife, another example, and also they are connected. They're related to health or to finance. Maybe there is two different words, right? To do that, maybe in MetLife, I have worked with two projects in so different situations with so many different purposes, with so many different data. So yeah, every project should have their importance, their way of working with them, and the structure, the clear structure to work in the project, right? So yeah, you can grab the instrument and you can use it as your benefit. For instance, let's imagine that we are designing a bank application, a new bank application here, all of the present here, and let's think about how can we get more information, because the information it's too small, it's too little information that we have today. How can we get information from the user to do a interview, to make a survey, a digital survey, a massive survey, or to have some session with some specific people, specific clients of the bank, and try to understand the user, their needs, right? So maybe we can use it as this, taking the instrument as our benefit, as well as we can say, okay, no, there is we have to do maybe a first design, UX design step, and after finishing that, after focusing on that, let's continue working on the sketching, or let's continue working with ideation or anything. But first, let's concentrate only in UX research, right? And let's forget about the next steps, right? So focus in only one UX research to grab the information, right? So yeah, you can use the instrument as your benefit, as well as the project needs, right? So yeah. And another question, should we share a file link with a client during the design process so they can edit in this file according to their preferences? Be careful with that. I will stop in this point. Yeah, be careful with that. When we are working with the organization, okay, we are hired, we sign a contract, and okay, everything it's in the legal, because we have a contract, right? But when we are working as a freelance with only one person, or with a one only client, let's be sure that at the beginning, when you are hired with the people or with this little organization, let's sure you have to make sure that you are clarifying all the deliverables, the time to deliver those deliverables, and the purpose of your work, right? And establish clearly in the time. Let's think that we are hired with in a 5 months lasting project, right? So let's be clear that in every month I will be delivering some steps of design thinking, maybe, or some advance in my instrument or anything, right? So let's be clear at the beginning with the client. Of course, understand the client's needs, understand the the process, or understand the project needs. But let's be clear with okay, in this month you will be receiving this from me, in the second, on third, fourth, and other months or other time, or as a roadmap, right? So clarifying the roadmap, what would be the deliverables, and what would be the tools, and what would be the purpose behind these deliverables, right? So let's be clear with that. After clarifying my deliverables, I can or I can make sure that how can the pieces, every deliverable should be deliverable, right? So for instance, okay, in this I'm delivering my, I don't know, my customer journey map, but maybe if I share the open file with this client, maybe they by viewing the customer journey map, maybe this person could move something, right? And the work could be changed, right? So yeah, if you are sharing some files or some instrument or some deliverables with the client, be careful that they are close enough, or they are some reader viewer to make sure that the client by human error doesn't change anything, right? So yeah, the second part, but I think this idea to share the file with link with can be edited before the project is finished. Yeah, just be careful with that because you are hiring because you are the expert, you are the specialist in UX design, not the client. The client pay you, pay your service, okay? Pay for your service, your knowledge, your process, but your client is not the user, the designer, right? The user, the end user is not the designer. You are the designer, and you have to control what is changed in the piece of design, right? What is changed in the customer journey map? What should be evolved when you are designing proto personas, and after analyzing and after guarantee that this is the real user persona, transform the proto persona into user persona. You are the responsible to control the editables, control the version of your instrument, right? It doesn't mean that what you are putting in your instrument is the whole truth and you only have the truth. No, 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 because you have to share and hear from others, right? How to evolve your instrument. But yeah, you are responsible to maintain and to keep this secure, right? To keep your instrument in a secure mood that you are responsible to change, to do the change, not your client and not your your user, right? And the third part is your opinion on this topic. Should an UX UI designer should share it with a client or not? Depends. It will depends in your terms that you are hiring, right? If the client asks you for editable, okay, I recommend you to make a copy, a security copy for you, and share the copy, the editable, but the copy, right? Because it could happen something that, oh, the client erases something, or I don't know. But to avoid confusion, avoid to some to from your UX or your work should be raised, share the copy, right? And the third question, how to make a case study more better? Oh, let's explore in 1 minute, right? So yeah, so after doing the empathize process, that is to really understand the user needs from and the not only the user needs, right, as well as the qualitative research, quantitative research, what they feel when they use a product or service, right? Let's begin with the second. Oh, sorry, with the second step that is defined, right? In the definition step, the second step of design thinking, what's the purpose of this step, guys? To integrate the knowledge. What knowledge? The knowledge that we investigate, that we really understood in the empathize in the previous step, right? And define means that integrate as a puzzle every piece of information clearly with some guidelines, with some clear line to really understand, to really make sure that we are putting the pieces into a formal, into a clear situation, and define and establish the principles of the design, the principle of the process, the principles of the business, the principles of the deliverables, the plan, the roadmap, right? To define, to establish, to organize the information, as well as to organize the user needs, prioritize the user needs, because okay, we can integrate all the user needs in a product, but not only in one way, not only in 1 minute, right? We have to be clever, we have to be smart to really think in a kind of plan to integrate all of this information and make a plan to help us to 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 keep working in deliver some user experiences, right? So yeah, another thing that we can discuss in define, guys. Have you done it before? The definition plan, to definition to collect information, organize them, and define an action plan to do the things. Yeah. Okay, great. After defining something that is established, the principles, established the plan, let's working on the third step, that is ideate. that it's awesome because in 88 step, let's explore some possible solutions. Let's explore other mindset, other possible perspective to how to solve by viewing the definition process, how to collect information and how to be creative and how to create awesome experiences, awesome interfaces to make sure that all of this information is connected and it's working and it's helping the user to go there or to reach the goal, right? Right, guys? So ideation is that it's a creative process to integrate all of knowledge and put it into a logical way in a screen to make sure that the user can go there, can reach the goals, right? Brainstorming, perfect. So, okay, let's again, let's empathize. It's a 88, it's a kind of empathize process too, that it's to integrate other mindset, other purposes, other feelings for other people and how to integrate, right? Attention, guys, because it's important for you when you are when you are doing the IDA process, the third step in design thinking, it's important for you to receive some support from other areas, not only from you or not only from your design people or design partners, right? As well as how marketing is working on that, how sales can do that, right? So integrate other ideas, other perspective, and how to solve and how to put into a visual part this process, right? So the first step after ideation, after doing all of this creative process and how to visualize and how to convert all of this information into ideation, let's prototype. What's a prototype, guys? How can you define a prototype? What a prototype is? Yeah, the dictionary says that it's the first product, the first thing, the first idea that comes when you are imagining something, right? Creating a dummy version, perfect. Ideas in visual form, wireframing, maybe sketching. Crazy is for 88, yeah, crazy is awesome. And yeah, prototype is how to, okay, after ideation, after doing a brainstorming with others, with our people, with our clients, user, other teammates in our organization, maybe, or we alone, let's prototype. Let's do a model. Let's do a kind of prototype, kind of way, an instrument to validate all of these ideas, right? But remember, all of these ideas, as the first question that we answered, okay, we can use assumption, but the good thing is to make sure that, okay, this is assumption, but I must validate, okay? So the prototype helps us with that, to validate, to prepare all of the stuff in the prototype, in the product that we are building, to present in the last step, that is test. Okay, dear customer, dear user, here you go the first prototype of our solution, our possible solution. There is only an idea. There is not the final version of the product. So let's begin with some test, with some task to analyze how you integrate, how you communicate with your product, right? And of course, give me your feedback by not only your assumption, as well as your perception of the use, your perception of what is understandable from your side, right? For your perspective, what is not understandable, what should be improved in this product, right? Or maybe not only in the product, me as a UX designer or me as a UX researcher, right? So a prototype is a preliminary version. Great way to describe preliminary version of a product or a design that is created for the purpose of testing and evaluation, right? The purpose, attention guys, the purpose of a prototype is not deliver a final version. No, the prototype is to validate. So don't be confused about, oh my gosh, this is the final version. No, dear boss, this is a prototype. This is the first, second, third. They shouldn't have the first version, but more naturally, most of the time is the first version. But well, this is not a final version. It's a preliminary version to help me understand if we are designing the good thing or we are near to discover or near to deliver the ideal experience for this process or not, right? So yeah, beta version, right? awesome. We have to communicate that it's a beta version, right? Not the alpha version. Okay. So, and after doing that, the last step, and remember, design thinking, it's a mindset, right? It's a process, okay, ABC steps, but a mindset that if we are focusing in the user, in how to integrate some knowledge, in how to, okay, everyone is welcome to share the knowledge, to share experiences, and to share assumptions and ideas. Okay, let's go to the last step, that is testing, and how to validate, right? How to hear from the user their pain points, their frustration, the perception of the screen of the product that we are presenting by a prototype, right? So in the testing step, it's the culmination of design thinking process, because it's through, or it's our windows to open our product, to expose our product to the critical eye of the user or the client, and how to still learning from the user, right? How to use the product in a real situation, real, because okay, the usability testing is controlled, it's a it's a controlled station, right? But okay, we can use it to integrate all of the interaction of the user and with the product, right? And after doing the steps, the last step, that is testing, it's finished? No, because remember, the same thinking is a mindset too. So after doing the testing steps, we should analyze and empathize again, and start again our design thinking process, and empathize what we learned from the usability testing, what we discovering of the usability testing, right? What we discuss with the user or client with the usability testing, and analyze and really empathize this information and integrate in a definition, in a next ideation, in a second, third, or other version of the prototype, right? So let's see why design thinking is not only a process, it's a good exercise, and how to build some strong bridges with our teammates, as well as other people, other human beings, right? So exactly, not linear process. It's another interesting thing, that is, oh, but should we respect A, B, or C steps, and we don't start never with the C step? No, it doesn't mean that the same thing. Also, it's a process. We can establish our start point, right? Okay, maybe we can, when we are arriving to a new project, maybe we can realize that, okay, there is a really good research before I arrive, right? So let's begin with the definition, maybe, because the research information is too good, right? Yeah, let's take it as a, okay, ABC process, but design thinking is a flexible, as every framework in UX UI design. It's flexible. You can grab it, some pieces of information, some pieces of the framework or instrument, and use it as your benefit, right? As a user for the needs that you have in any point of the of the situation, right? Okay. Question. Nowadays, design are getting complicated because of creative competition. Yeah, it's huge. Here in Mexico and Latin America, I can show you that it's because I'm a professor too in Argentinian school, South America schools. So yeah, it's a strong competition, but it implies that we can still preparing ourselves and studying and learning something new, right? But many professional designers say you make it simple and use a golden ratio of UX UI design. So should we follow that advice, or should we try new things? Okay, I recommend you to still working in your knowledge and invest in your knowledge, right? Okay, there is so much free courses, but if you can pay the Interaction Design Foundation course, or maybe Nielsen Norman certification, pay for it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's paid or not. Continue working on your knowledge on how to relearn design thinking, how to improve our rapid testing or rapid sketching, right? So improve what you already know nowadays, but as well as keep informed by subscribing in the Twitter of Nils Norman Group or Donald Norman or Alan Cooper or all of these important figures in the world of design thinking or UX design, and read daily the new things about UX, right? The new things about or new studies about economical behavioral design, or the new things about the artificial intelligence in UX design or something like that, right? So yeah, I recommend you to keep working on improve the knowledge that you have got it before, and you are working in the current knowledge, as well as to get new knowledge of about new topics, right? Okay, but yeah, everything is okay with design thinking. So it's clear in how powerful it's think about the design thinking. Is not only a ABC step or ABC process and that's all. No, it's a kind of it's an exercise to empathize ideas and learn from others, right? So far, so good, guys? Okay. So let's begin with our second topic of today, that is UX research. Have you done UX research before? I think we do. Also, we are not UX designers, maybe. I can guarantee that every day of our life, we are researcher. Because let's imagine when we are visiting Starbucks, we are starving, and we go to McDonald's, or I don't know, a restaurant. Maybe we can, when we are in front of the table of products or beverages, we can't decide what hamburger can we buy, or what kind of flour or our ice cream we can grab it, right? So we converted with researchers to investigate the difference with the products, what would be the benefits one product from other, right? So every day in our life we are researchers. Think about that. So UX research because we are in the UX design world, of course, but UX research, okay. Also, we have all of these. There is not the whole principle, the whole framework to work UX research, but they are the most important one. But as well as I said in the beginning of our session, that everything in UX design is flexible, and you can grab it and you can adapt or to attain some benefits, or to grab or to adapt in your own process, right? So yeah. How to make a case study more better? Okay, it's a question that we are discussing in more minutes. And we have another question. My organization doesn't allow me to connect with the end user. What? No. Find another work. No, it's horrible. My gosh, our customer of the product. Why? You have to ask why. Remember, empathy. Try to understand your boss, your weird boss. Why are you not allowing me to connect with an user? Because I am designing things or products or services for a user. So try to understand, right? But okay, how should I approach this issue in order to empathize and know issues from actual customers? The first step, let's apply UX design in our own life. Empathize with your boss or your organization, or the people that doesn't allow you to connect with a user. Try to convoke them in a session, invite a session, and breathe in, breathe out, and ask for an explanation. Why aren't you allowing me to connect with an user? Okay, and hear carefully from them. After doing that, maybe you can say, okay, I should or I want to explore you with you design thinking or any instrument, right? You can use any instrument in UX design, and make them to see the purpose of design thinking, or the purpose of any UX designer. There is no build something and sell, build something and sell it. No, we are we are designing something to improve the communication, to improve the lives of others, to improve anything in others' person, right? So if I don't have access to other people's mindset, to other people's thoughts, to other people's information, how can I imagine what would be the ideal solution of this problem by doing a product or service if I don't have enough information, right? Try to explain them because maybe I imagine that they don't have any idea about UX design, but you as a UX professional, remember guys that we are evangelizing every day in our lives, right? Try to really share the purpose of UX design because some people doesn't have enough information or doesn't have the knowledge or they really doesn't know how UX design, right? So try to explore their minds, try to ask for the why aren't you allowing me? Because maybe they are afraid to for you to connect with the people and you say or you communicate something ground about the brand or about the organization with the clients. It's okay, right? But try to understand the perspective of where are these people is telling you no because they don't know how to they don't know your work, they don't know what's UX design, or they think or they have some assumptions, some ground assumptions about UX design, right? Try to explore their answer, and after doing that, try to explain them your design thinking or your UX process, right? It doesn't matter if it's design thinking or other, uh, and try to communicate and try to make them to see the real goal behind connect with end user. Because if you don't have connection with end user of customer, your UX design will be always in an assumption space. That it's okay. I'm not saying that the assumption is bad. No, it's good. It's goal to do that. But if we are using assumption always without testing with end user, this is not design. This is not UX design. This is organization experience. This is your boss experience. And guess what? Your organization, neither your organization nor your boss, nor you, even you, are the user, the end user, right? So try to empathize, try to ask for explanation and explore and expose why the importance of for you in your process to connect with them, right? Bit of another question, bit of topic, but curious to have your thoughts. Maybe something to discuss at the end. Okay, with AI, artificial intelligence improving rapidly, it's such interesting, and likely soon being much faster, possibly more reliable to complete all the work. Okay, yeah. I personally think that AI maybe we can explode, we can develop, we can use it to generate data, to analyze a huge amount of information. But my personal point of view, it's we can't be replaced by maybe now, maybe in the future, or I'm not sure, but I think that we won't be replaced as a UX designer by artificial intelligence because we have this sense of humanity that at the nowadays any machine, any intelligence, artificial intelligence have, right? So this empathy, this level of understanding what other feels, what other put in the user should remember, I think that it's a kind of sense of human being. So it could be so difficult, not to say impossible, to replicate this feeling, what the thing that make us human, to replicate this into a machine. So personally, I think that we can use artificial intelligence to analyze huge amounts of information or to do the hard work, right? To analyze information and to find some insight, but sit with the end user and really understand what they're feeling, understand what their pain points, and really build a kind of mapping that describes the pain point and how to solve it into a human perspective. No, this is only a feature that is only designed by the humans, right? So yeah, maybe we can grab so much benefit from AI technology, but the empathy and the human being stuff, never, I think, right? Which device is better, Adobe XD or Figma? Oh, awesome question. Remember, guys, the talent, the passion to do the thing, it's in the person, not in the tool. The tool, it's a good tool, but it's a tool. It's a cold tool, right? It could be replaced. If we don't use Adobe XD, okay, use Figma. If you don't use Figma, it could be weird, but you can use Illustrator. Also, you can't prototype easily because Illustrator is not for prototyping. But remember, guys, the talent is independent always from the tool, right? You can, with a real artist, you can say, okay, take a PowerPoint, the most classical and simple tool to draw something, right? And this person, if he's a real artist, they can be a real a good art, a real awesome piece of art made in Paintpoint. So which better, Adobe XD or Figma? It doesn't matter too much. What matters is your talent, right? Your prototype, your empathy, sense of bridge, empathy bridge to connect with others, right? Your process, deliver something that, okay, here you go, this product that it's improving your way of life, improving your expectation, it's improving your how to use a product, right? So yeah, and it will be depends. Okay, nowadays Figma is, I think, the most popular tool in the world about UX UI design in general. But make sure that if you're focusing in using only Figma, it's okay, it's your decision. But I recommend you to explore Adobe XD, or explore Sketch, explore another tools for you to make sure that you have a good amount of UX tools to use for use it, right? Not only one. It's a good idea to concentrate and take expertise in only one tool. It's okay, but I recommend you to explore others, right? But yeah, the tool, it's important. Yeah, but the most important thing is your talent. Your talent is in you, not in any tool, right? And what do you think about Beasley too? Beasley, I don't know. Beasley is I don't really understand this, but yeah, the tool, the talent is not in the tool, it's in you, right? It's in fact, you are the user of the product you are designing. Oh, good. You keep your own thoughts. Okay, yeah, maybe you can face UX design that, oh my gosh, you are the end user, right? Or the possible end user of this. But yeah, let's separate this. You have to be careful when you are designing, you are the professional. You are not the user, because maybe you can bias your design by your own thoughts. And guess what? What your pain points maybe could be different from other pain points, from other perspective, from other people, right? Or maybe because you are at the end user of the product, maybe you can share some pain points with your audience. But yeah, I recommend you to separate. When you are designing a product, you are the professional. Don't do your assumption only in your pain points. Okay, the assumptions are okay, are based on your thoughts, but remember, test with the end user and try to separate. Here, I'm the professional, I'm not the user, because you can bias, or you can do a confirmation bias. That is how to find some piece of information to support your own pain points. Because I'm the end user, so my pain points are good because I'm the end user, possible end user of this. No, you are the designer. First, the most important thing in doing in being the professional, the UX designer or the end user, the most important thing is you are the professional first. You are the UX professional, and try to separate, right? Of course, if you are finding that, okay, the pain points are too similar of yours because you are a possible end user, are okay. But don't try to do it. When you are designing, you are the UX designer professional, right? And separate from your thoughts, from your own feelings, right? But yeah, interesting question. Another, how to deal with a client outside freelance platform. Okay, to clarify anything. Anything. If you can do a contract and sign a contract, awesome, right? But well, in informal, in freelance situation, that is not happening most of the time. Let's be clear, let's be honest. So let's be clear. Always should have documented the purposes, the what you can you have to deliver, and the other interesting thing, what you don't have to be delivered, right? What you are working on and what you are not working on, right? So be clear of that. The terms, the times, the deliverables, the quality. Oh, the deliverable should be a wireframe, and that's all. No, the delivery should have a mock-up, a prototype, or maybe a front end develop, right? So try to do this. A clear list to clarify any deliverables in the time. When do you have to deliver the thing or the instrument, the purpose of the exploration, the purpose of the project, and a most important thing, guys, to explain others, to explain the hiring people, our client, our client, I mean, the people that are paying us to do the thing, to do the UX design process, explain them the purpose and the purpose of behind the instrument. For instance, I have worked a lot of freelance projects. In some cases, most of them cases, I have to explain the purpose of doing after sketching, investigation with the user, interview with the user, focus group with the user. Well, Pepe, it's okay, but you're wasting time because I don't see the sketching. I don't see the final version of the design. Okay, hold on, because to arrive this point, before I have to really understand the user needs, right? So maybe most of the time you have to be clear in the deliverables, in the process, but as well as how UX works, right? How UX design works, because it's not magical. I don't have control design in my keyword, in my computer. No, it's not magical. It's a step-by-step process that we can make sure that we are right with a good prototype, with a good understanding of the business, right? So yeah, I believe for freelance work, especially if you have trust issues in work with an international smart client for the first time, ask for some fraction of the payment upfront. Yeah, clarify anything. You don't be afraid to ask the payment, the payment dates, the amount of payment, the benefits. Don't be afraid of that, because you are being hired. You are being put in a specialist situation. Act as a specialist, right? Okay. The second part, if you're getting a client from social media from your personal portfolio and how to form a legal contract with them. Okay, with these legal terms, I recommend you to go with a specialist of legal, a lawyer, a friend that maybe we can have studying this, or maybe here, at least here in Mexico, we have some contracts in some government portals that you can download, you can fill out, and maybe you can use it, and they are legally how can I say it, they are legal mm, they are legal. I don't know how to say it, right? But I recommend you, when you are doing a contract, go to the specialist to release these terms. And once you have this document clearly, and all the terms and all the closures well done, well described, close to your client, read together, clarify the terms, and sign and start working, right? But with this legal situation, legal issue, I recommend you to go with a specialist, right? Third point, should we share a design file with a client if they didn't ask for it, or should be shared? Or again, let's be clear with the roadmap. When anything should be delivered, right? And the level of the of the context of this deliverable, right? Yeah, you have to be clear. You have to be so clear at the beginning of the process how to be deliverable, how to be how the content of this deliverable, and the ideal the ideal how can I say it, the ideal support, the ideal material to make the delivery, right? Maybe you can say, okay, with this client, I work with Google Slides, and it's okay for the client, for my client works, right? Or no, this client is asking me for the Figma files, the editable Figma files. Okay, make a security copy for you and deliver the copy, right? Okay, this kind of deliverable should be established with your client, right? Or maybe by you, if you see, because you're the specialist, if your client doesn't know anything about UX and the classical asking, right, from the client, making prettier, making more usable. Okay, you can investigate if you work how usable is for this client and recommend the best deliverable for this client, because you are the expert, you are the specialist, right? There is in this freelance situation or with your client, you are the specialist. Okay, and for sometimes some UX designers say that we should change extra from a client for proper design system file. Should charge extra from a client for a proper design system file. It should be, it depends on the terms that you are working with your client. It's not always, but I recommend you, if the if the end user is asking for you a design system, or apart from the prototype or all the research instrument, they are asking for you a design, an open design system, okay, because they are paying for you. It's your work to deliver what the client is asking for you, but make sure that you are you're being carefully about estimate how in the time should be delivered, and the quality of this deliverable, and the possible editable editable files that maybe you can share with it. I recommend when you again when you are sharing some editable files, make a security copy, because yeah, the end user should have and maybe can erase something, and yeah, it's irresponsible because you are being hired for this to care about all of these instrument, right? Next question. I'm an expert in Figma. Congrats. I'm also intermediate in Inkscape. Great. Jim, Sketch, and InVision. But I don't have access to any Adobe tools. Adobe XD? No. Because Adobe, it's a kind of, here I have it. Let me, okay. Because Adobe, it's a kind of a kind of suite. Here I have it. It's a kind of suite, and it's paid, and it's paid. So yeah, it's not weird. It's a kind of a subscription that you can pay monthly or annually, and you can access by depend of the amount you pay. You have access to all the suite of solution of Adobe, right? Okay, it can be compulsory to learn Adobe. Okay, no, it's not compulsory. I really love this word. No, as I told you before, guys. Okay, if you are expert in Figma, awesome. Keep working on that. Keep working and improve your skill in Figma. Great, but don't forget any other. Not because no, I'm not talking about only only Adobe, but others. Don't allow you to forget any other instrument, because it's like the languages, right? Maybe we can miss a good opportunity to job with a organization for only not the classical example, right? For not knowing how to speak in English, maybe, right? So let's be clear that, okay, if you are expert in Figma, in Adobe, in InVision, in Sketch, in Optimal Workshop, in Full Story, in any instrument that you can you can share with me now, okay, keep working on that, but don't don't be don't be don't be don't be so focused that you forget any other instrument, right? Because it should be a good experience and a good, it could be the difference between being hired or not in an organization, right? In an organization, they are asking for you to use Figma, only exclusively Figma. But let's imagine that, okay, you are using Figma, you are hired, but there is a new project, a such interesting project in this organization. But the bad news is that they're not using for this main or this particular situation or or process or project. They're not using Figma. They're using Adobe XD, and you don't know how to use Adobe XD. Oh my gosh, right? So yeah, if you're expert in any tool, keep working on this expertise. But I recommend you to look around and see what other similar tools I can learn, and I can, yeah, if you maybe you are not expert in all of them, it's not possible. You are expert in only one or two, that's okay, but don't forget the others, right? It's a good idea for you to fill your portfolio of tools, right? Okay. And how to do a user research? How to do a user research when we do this to our target audience? Where is it? Our audience are part of village and they might be nervous. Media. Okay, right. I got it. Okay. Yeah. After I recommend you to, after doing any approach, any UX research personally, I mean surveys, I mean maybe surveys not because they are unpersonal. Maybe interview in front of the people that classically make so nervous. It's natural in our mindset, in our human mindset. I recommend you to research how the people or how this audience behaves, right? How are frustration, what are the feelings about the topic, what are the culture, right? Because yeah, you have to be careful about being respect always with the culture of this audience, of this target, of these people, right? Their culture, their mindset, maybe, and be so respectful with that. Maybe you are not agree with some assumption or some cult or some things about this culture of this audience, but you have to respect, right? And don't invade and don't be bothering with your ideas or the ideas for you. But yeah, I recommend you to search how this audience behaves, and after doing that, you can design your script of your your focus group or your interview or your instrument by caring about how this audience behaves, right? Do they are so I don't know, right? To make sure that you are caring about the words that you are using with these people and how to communicate the things for the people to not to be bothered by any concept that you are using or any ideas that you are sharing, right? And learn from there your any ideas that maybe you can share with them, but you are the professional, not the person. You are the professional, and as a professional, you are really hear from others and learn from others and listening to other ideas, right? If you are agree with that ideas, okay. If you disagree with ideas, okay. But you are not the person. You are the professional, okay? But I recommend you to, after doing that, research a little, know your target, and decide what would be the ideas that we could be that it should be that what would be the ideas that could be issues to talk, and it could be a difficult topic and try to avoid them, right? Which portfolio website is good, Behance or Dribble? I recommend you Behance. It's one of the most used, but Dribble is okay. Maybe Instagram. I've seen some awesome Instagram about UX, and it's awesome, right? So yeah, let's continue working because the time goes by so fast. So UX research, as we done it in this meeting, right? UX research. Oh, guys, let me know your knowledge. Let me know your thoughts, right? Is write on the chat. This is UX research because I'm knowing you and you are knowing me, right? So and this is data from ProApp maybe that we can grab and maybe learn from your audience, right? So UX research. There is a lot of instrument about UX research. Both the most important thing is remote interview. Hi guys, how are you? How are you feeling today? I'm Pepe. My name is Pepe. I work with that. I'm working on that. My project is that. So here we are here to do this and this and this, right? Remote interview to make others comfortable with communicating with me. And okay, tell me your story, tell me your thoughts, tell me your perception about this, right? Remote interview. Focus group, concentrate a lot of people in one place and share knowledge, share experience, but concentrate in only one topic, in only one idea, in only one way to do the thing, right? The no problem. The issue with the focus group, attention guys, here in UX, the issue with focus group is maybe we can bias, or maybe the people in the focus group can be biased by only or two opinions, or the leader of the focus group that it's only there is a person that it's always the leader, right? Or maybe two people. There is always the leader, and the focus group the ideas should be or maybe can be, not always, can be biased, right? For the most powerful person ideas. So just be careful with that. In a focus group, let's everyone communicate their ideas without feeling guilty about, oh, but my idea is so silly. No, there is no silly idea, right? Any idea is silly. Any idea is interesting to discuss, right? So a focus group to know each other and how to make a conversation, a rich conversation, right? So learn from this. Okay, guerrilla research. That it's to make a kind of more aggressive research and how to investigate some hidden data, maybe, or hidden behavior about others, right? It's a kind of not rude, a kind of aggressive, maybe more a little aggressive research, but we can use it when we are not having most information from other tools, right? Usability testing, one of the most important and most delightful experience in UX design. That it's okay by doing this and this and this task. How what's your perspective from this product or service, right? And observation in the usability testing. Okay, maybe the user can tell me, "Oh, it's awesome, Pepe. It's so clear." But yeah, maybe you can see the face that it's, "Oh my gosh, I don't have any idea what Pepe is asking me, right?" Or no, it's ugly. It's oh, it's no, it's too bad, and I don't like it, Pepe. But this person should be bothered by the other situation before doing the usability testing. Okay, so observation. The usability testing is a exercise of okay, how the user uses the product, obvious, but as well as in our perspective as a UX designer, observation, right? Desk research, gather the information that we have, gather the more information that we can grab from any good sources of information, and how to seek for or search for some insights into this desk research, right? And this research is not only raw data or qualitative data, as well as previous usability testing, previous comment in our website or our product, or maybe some comments in the Play Store or any market digital store of our clients, right? Gather information, any information to make or to define some insight, right? And we have a question. Hi, I'm from India. Welcome. Every time I'm very time when I apply for UX UI designer job, they want to graduate, but I'm not a graduate. Okay, can I get a job? Okay, yeah, this is a worldwide problem, not only UX design. It's a worldwide problem on any field of studies, right? And for the people that, okay, you can also, it doesn't matter if it's a junior position, they are asking you for at least 2 or 3 years of experience. But What? Because, okay, let's forget the level, junior, beginner, senior, but how can I get this expertise or these years of expertise if any organization allows me to practice, right? So I recommend you to continue working on your UX cases, in your UX portfolio, grabbing some use cases, develop, okay, as well as keep working on your studies, your knowledge, and apply all of this knowledge in your UX cases, in your portfolio, and still working on your portfolio because it will help you to, okay, maybe I don't have real experience with an organization, but I have the knowledge what you are hiring, what you are searching for, right? I have the knowledge, I have experience by building some UX cases, and here we go, my portfolio, analyze them, and obviously in the interview, go for all, break a leg, right? Hi, I'm Pepe. I will be presenting my case about redesigning of, I don't know, McDonald's application, right? Or a McDonald's website. So I did that, and based on that assumption, I generate this sketch, and after doing a usability testing to make sure that I'm um, I'm analyzing my product by the perspective, from the perspective for a user, any user or client, I discovered this. And based on this data, I realized that I should have improved this part of my design or my service, right? So keep working on that. And when you are having this interview, this just job interview, present with everything. Break a leg in the presentation and demonstrate that it doesn't matter if I don't have my 2 or 3 years of experience. I have the knowledge. The experience should have be earned by working, obviously, but I have what you are looking for, that is knowledge in a field that is UX, right? A/B testing, how to compare our ideas, how to compare the version A with the version B and others maybe, right? But the version A/B testing, it's too close to the usability testing. How to analyze the perception between or the difference between the A design or B design, right? Another question, if company demands for graduation, it's nothing to do with UX design, it depends on the company policy. Yeah, it depends of course, in the company policy, right? Sometimes they are, in some companies, in some positions, some certain position, leadership position, most of the times, they are asking for you a diploma or a graduation level of UX UI design from Interaction Foundation or maybe Donald Norman, but no, not always, right? The most important thing, more the paper, it's your desire to do the things, your portfolio. It is why your portfolio and LinkedIn should be perfect, right? So just be careful with that. But yeah, if you can graduate or have a graduation paper or graduation level, got it. Pay for that, study a lot, learn a lot, and go for this process. Go for this documentation. But if not, there is no something that that make you that you don't have a or there is no a issue for you to get a job, right? But if you can do it, do it. What should be a minimum and maximum time duration to complete a project for UX? It will depends always in the design, but of course, attention, you don't have to stick to a number, never, but applying from scratch or maybe redesigning. Okay, from scratch, that it's a scratch means that you don't have anything. You have to build everything, right? From scratch, from zero, maybe from 6 months at least, because it's a huge exercise to at least, right? It's the minimum, right? A maximum, it will depends on the project, the difficulty of the project. Our design maybe should have at least maybe 3 months because okay, you have something to start work, right? You have a current expectation, you have a current product, you have a current documentation, I don't know, but you can grab it as a good as a good guideline to start from then. From the difference between Scratch is that you don't have anything, right? So maybe, yeah, but the duration of any materials of any process, it will depend on the difficulty of the process, the difficulty of the business that you are working on, as well as the business indeed, because maybe you can grab it a topic or a project that is a topic or related with a topic that is too difficult or to have access to the information, or maybe we don't have enough information right now. Yeah, so yeah, it really depends on that, right? And analysis, UX research. Welcome. Coming back to this, the analysis, right? Analyzing everything in UX research, right? So far, so good. We're almost done. So let's continue working on that. Our third topic about rapid sketching. Crazy X, have you heard it before? I can bet that you can. You have working on that. A rapid sketching, Crazy X exercise is a good exercise to explore some different ideas in the minimum time, in at least 8 minutes, 1 minute per screen, 1 minute per space. And it would be possible to do this without paying attention in more minimum details, such as UI design. Okay, the UI design comes at the end of the process, not in this process, right? Rapid sketching will help us to really understand, to transform all the ideation in a more visual and more tangible situation, right? So practices. Usability testing. As you can know, usability testing, they are cost and time effective. We can avoid some waste of money or maybe time in with developing time or with the organization by realizing about pain points from the user in this situation, in this usability testing, right? We can use it to identify valuable opportunities, of course. How to identify some situations, some possible improvements of our product or maybe our UX design, right? Optimize overall user experience, of course, not only the product, not only the interaction between the product and the user, as well as all about where the user is around them, right? Obtain objective insight, of course. The user needs that, but in the usability testing, we realize that there is another thing that we can put attention on, right? And gain competitive advantages. Of course, if we are observing our user, we can observe something that maybe our competitors, they don't are viewing, right? So this is why I recommend in our last session, you remember that someone doesn't have allowed, is not allowed to connect with end user. It's weird, but yeah, it happens. Show all the benefits about the user of your UX process, and show the benefits to have the benefit to have access to our clients, right? Okay, coder versus UX designer. Whose work is software? Coder versus. Okay, the difficulty about any topic is something that is qualitative, right? It depends on your thoughts, your assumption. For me, my assumption, I am a systems engineer and I don't really like to coding. I don't like it. No? It is why I decided to go to UX UI and creative design, creative field. So maybe for me, coding. I don't like coding. Being honest with you, I don't like coding. I really love UI design and understand user goals and user needs. But what's tougher, it will depends on your purpose and in your skills, right? And how to present a design case. There is not only one way, guys, to present a design case, but unfortunately, we have finished the time for this session, but I'm sharing with you this. This is my extended resume, my extended and I try to do the most simple way to collect some some cases in this. I have volunteering projects, all of that. I have design experiences in teaching and mentoring, and I have selected. Of course, you can schedule with me in ADP List or in SuperProf or any mentoring session. It would be awesome for me to know you one by one and my work experience. And I try to concentrate. This, of course, is not my whole work, but some brands that I'm working on in all of this time, I'm concentrating this extended version of my resume, right? So I'm sharing with you this, guys. It would be interesting for you to enter in this in this material and comment me some. I'm sharing with you. Okay, have you received this link, guys? I think, yeah. Yeah, Daniel, I share it with you. Did you receive it, guys? The link?
Actually, Jose, you shared with host and panelists.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. So it would be interesting for me to go and explore my extended resume. And once you have done this, maybe you can reach me out on LinkedIn, and maybe we can discuss some ideas, some questions that you have for me. Or if you let me share with you my LinkedIn profile. It would be so interesting for you to join me here and share some ideas, share some thoughts about the resume, about this work. And if you have some other ideas or some other LinkedIn or ideas or question, you can reach me out on LinkedIn and maybe we can discuss and I can guide you, right? I work with ADP List, so please, if you are interested in having some mentoring session of a completely free, of course, mentoring session with me, you can hit me on, you can send me a message on LinkedIn and maybe we can talk about how can we schedule some mentoring session. It would be awesome for me to meet you one by one. And I think this is everything for us. Unfortunately, I couldn't share with you all of these part of a situation in our classes. I work with my students in really understand the user needs and how to map all of this knowledge. But maybe in other workshop, if ProApp gives me the opportunity, maybe I can show my experience as a professor, and I can give you some share with you some all of this experience in my experience of as a professor, as well as the experience of the guys that are working with me in some courses, right? So yeah, let's connect via LinkedIn, please. I will really love hear from you feedback about this session. Thank you so much, ProApp, for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge and experience with you. I hope it could be so useful for you. And yeah, let's keep in touch in LinkedIn, right?
Definitely, Jose. I think we need to conduct one more session. It was such an extensive session that I believe 60 minutes was not enough at all. But you duly covered everything which we wanted to learn and understand. And thank you so much for that. I think I'll reach out to you personally and we'll do it once again. And I think we can think of the topic, whichever feel like, or we can take a vote from the audience who have joined. Also, there were some questions. Yes, we will get the recording of this session. It would be available in the app itself. With the new update, you can access the previous workshops within the app itself. Else, we have the YouTube channel where we upload all our recorded workshops, the earlier workshops. So yes, you can access it. And thank you so much. Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great weekend to you too, Jose. And yeah, have a great day.
Thank you. Have an awesome weekend. Have an awesome night, day. I don't know where you are, but thank you so much. And let's connect with. Let's keep in touch on LinkedIn. And see you soon, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye. Take care.